Let me be blunt with you. The most frustrating moments with women are when you feel the tension, but you can't tell if she's actually trying to turn you on or just being nice. Most men miss this, and we hate that we have to practically spell it out without ever saying it. As a woman, I've been in rooms with guys I desperately wanted, and they had no idea what I was doing. You've probably lived the opposite. You go home replaying everything, wondering if you imagined it. In this video, I'm going to show you the ways women signal desire without saying a word. If you understand these, you stop guessing and start reading us for real. Before we get into that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all our videos. 1. She rearranges the space so you're accidentally closer. You're at a house party standing in the kitchen, and you notice she keeps moving things around. She slides a spare chair nearer to you, shifts herself to your side of the island, or nudges her drink next to yours instead of keeping it with her friends. Most men think this is random fidgeting. It isn't. She's quietly editing the room so the default distance between you is smaller. You'll catch yourself thinking, why is she over here again? That's the point. She wants your body to get used to hers being closer, without having to ask for it. If you're the guy you're becoming now, you lean into it. You hold your position, angle your body slightly toward her, and keep the conversation going. Notice how she relaxes when you don't back away, because that's her first green light before anything more obvious can happen. And this is just her warm-up. 2. She adds a little chaos to see if you'll steady her. Picture this. You're walking side by side through a supermarket or down a busy street. Out of nowhere, she accidentally bumps into you, drops something from her bag, or pretends she can't balance on the curb. You hear a little laugh, feel that quick brush of her shoulder, and she glances up to see what you'll do. Most men treat this like a clumsy moment and step away, or overreact like a parent. Careful, don't fall. What she's really doing is testing how you handle a tiny spike of physical chaos. Inside, she's thinking, if I get a bit unsteady around him, does he freeze up? Does he scold me? Or does he ground me? You, as the guy who's not missing this anymore, simply plant your feet and let your hand hover near her lower back or elbow for a second longer than necessary. You might say, wow, trying to take both of us out, with a relaxed smile. It's playful, not panicked. If you respond too stiffly, the moment passes and the energy goes back to friendly. But if you handle it calm and steady, she suddenly feels safer turning the dial up later. This is how a lot of women warm their body to yours without making an official move. Notice the next time she manufactures a little clumsiness around you, because how you react here sets the tone for every more intimate moment that follows. 3. She uses innocent favors that put you in her hands. You're at work late, or sitting together at a study table, and she suddenly needs your help. Can you open this jar? Can you reach that shelf? Can you fix the clasp on her necklace because these nails are useless? Most men see this as basic politeness, but notice how these favors pull your hands and body into her space in a way that feels justified. She's engineering contact that looks practical but feels charged. Inside, she's thinking, if I put myself in his hands a little, what does he do with that? You're no longer the guy who shrugs and treats it like a chore. You slow down just enough. You step behind her to fix the necklace. You let your fingers graze her skin for half a second longer, and you say something like, you're dangerous with these nails, you know that? With a smile she can feel, not just hear. Even with something simple like passing her a stapler, you let your fingers meet instead of dropping it on the desk. If you overdo it and get grabby, the spell breaks and she'll retreat. If you underplay it like a robot, she files you under safe but not exciting. You're learning to live in the middle, respectful, steady, and clearly aware of the tension. Pay attention to how often she could ask anyone else for help, but chooses you, because later you'll see how those innocent requests evolve into her talking about her own body's reactions, instead of objects in her hands. 4. She changes how she teases you when other people are around. You're at a bar with friends, and you notice she jokes with everyone, but with you, it's different. She teases how you talk, how you dance, how you order your drink, and she watches your reaction too closely. Most men just think, she's roasting me, and clap back like they do with the guys. You now use it. You lean in when you answer and say, you only pick on people you like, don't you? With a smile. That tells her you see the flirt hidden in the joke. And if she doesn't deny it, rolls her eyes and stays close, you'll know this is more than banter. Before we keep going, if you're actively sharpening yourself this year, comment building below. Let's see who's serious about growth. 5. She starts talking about your body instead of your personality. You're sitting with her and a couple of friends at a picnic or on a lunch break, and suddenly she comments on something physical about you. Your shoulders have gotten bigger. You always smell good. Or you have calm eyes. Most men take it as a compliment. Have you noticed this and brushed it off? You don't anymore. You say, so you've been paying attention, with a grin. Or, is that your way of saying you like what you see? so she can play along. When she moves from "you're funny" to "you look like," she's letting desire leak through description. Catch that shift, because it isn't accidental. 6. She uses harmless dares to get you to cross lines first. You're driving together or walking home after dinner with friends, and she suddenly turns it into a little game. "I dare you to sing along to this. Bet you won't talk to that couple." Or more quietly, "I dare you to tell me what you first noticed about me." Most men treat these like childish jokes, but just like when she needed help with that necklace or jar, she's setting something up. You cross the line so she doesn't have to. Inside, she's thinking, if I open this door, does he step through or act scared of his own desire? The man you're becoming doesn't freeze. You play along, but you nudge it back. Only if you go first, or, "Okay, but my answer might change how you look at me." You say it with a calm voice, not a nervous laugh. If you ignore these dares, the vibe drops back to friendly. If you meet them with playful confidence, she feels safe raising the stakes later without risking all the blame landing on her. 7. She stretches time right before you say goodbye. You walk her to her door, or you're both standing by your cars, and you say, "All right, I should get going." Instead of stepping back, she finds a reason to keep you there. "Wait, did I tell you about?" Or she suddenly remembers a story, checks her phone, fiddles with her keys. Most men miss this and rush the ending. You're different now. You let there be a pause. You look at her and say, "So, is there anything else you're keeping me here for?" With a smile. If you cut these stretched out goodbyes, the door that just opened closes. If you hold the moment, what happens next can change everything. 8. She mentions her body's reactions instead of her feelings. You're side by side at a cafe, laptops open, supposedly working. Out of nowhere, she says, "I'm getting goosebumps, it's freezing in here." Or, "My heart is racing, I had too much coffee." Or, "I'm so warm right now." Most men treat these as weather reports. Remember earlier when she hid everything in "help me with this favors"? This is the upgraded version. She's bringing your attention straight to her body instead of her emotions. Let me be direct for a second. When a woman starts narrating her body around you, she's seeing if you can handle that level of closeness without turning weird. You now look at her, hold eye contact for a beat, and say something like, "Yeah? What's your body trying to tell you?" With a half smile, or you offer your hoodie without making a big deal. If you stay completely oblivious, she'll stop sharing and turn the dial back down. If you meet it with calm curiosity, she feels safe letting more of that desire show up later. 9. She makes you notice how other men are looking at her. You're walking with her through a busy restaurant or along a crowded street at night, and you catch other guys glancing over. Instead of ignoring it, she points it out. "That guy totally just checked me out." Or, "Those two have been staring this whole time." Delivered with a little smile as she looks back at you. Most men either puff up with fake jealousy or brush it off with, "Yeah, whatever." They miss the real move. She's showing you she's desirable and watching how you handle it. Inside, she's thinking, "Can he see I'm wanted without turning controlling or insecure?" Remember when she teased you differently at the bar earlier? This is the same theme at a higher level. She's putting a spotlight on the fact that other people feel the pull you're feeling, and she wants to see whether you shrink, ignore, or step into it. The man you're becoming doesn't rant about other guys, and he doesn't pretend not to notice. You smile, maybe glance at the guy once, then look straight back at her and say, "Can you blame them?" Or, "I get it," in a steady tone. Your body language stays relaxed. You maybe place your hand lightly on the small of her back as you keep moving. If you react with jealousy, she feels less safe turning you on. If you act like it means nothing, she feels unseen. When you can acknowledge her effect on other men while still making her feel chosen in that moment, you become the guy she actually wants to turn on, not just the guy standing next to her. 10. She turns shared screens into a slow burn, intimate moment. You're on a couch watching a show, or sitting side by side looking at something on your phone. At first it's innocent. "Have you seen this series?" Or, "Watch this video, it's hilarious." Then the distance starts shrinking. Her thigh touches yours and doesn't move. Her head tilts onto your shoulder for a better angle. Her hand rests near your leg as she scrolls. Most men think, "We're just chilling," and glue their eyes to the screen. Stay with me here, because this is where most men completely misread what's happening. Inside, she's thinking, "Can we share this space like we're already closer?" Or does he panic and pretend not to notice? She's not going to narrate every shift. "I'm leaning on you now." She needs you to feel it. The man you're becoming doesn't freeze up like you're in a dentist's chair. You breathe, soften your shoulders, and let your body respond. Maybe you tilt the phone toward her and let your arm rest lightly behind her. Or you say, "If you're going to steal my shoulder like that, at least pick a good episode," with a quiet laugh. If you bolt upright or keep your arms pinned, she feels rejected without hearing the word. If you instantly pounce, she feels unsafe and cheap. When you can sit in that slow burn contact, relaxed and aware, you signal something most men never do. You can handle desire without losing control. That's exactly the energy that makes her want to turn the volume up on everything else you're about to see later in the night, and later in this video. 11. She creates tiny one-bedroom imaginations in everyday talk. You're on the phone late at night, both of you in your own beds, lights off. The conversation should have ended 20 minutes ago, but she keeps spinning little what-if situations. Imagine if we had to share a tiny apartment. If we were roommates, you'd totally steal the covers. You'd be the one making breakfast, right? Most men file this under random chatter. It isn't random. She's quietly moving you and her into the same four walls in your imagination. Inside, she's thinking, can he picture me there without freaking out or shutting it down with a joke? You're no longer the guy who laughs it off with, yeah, sure, and changes the subject. You play with it. You say, you'd hog the bed, I'd have to pin you to one side, or, if we shared a place, we'd never get any sleep, in a calm, teasing tone. You don't rush to make it serious, but you don't pull away either. If you miss this and keep things light, she'll feel the door quietly close. When you let those tiny one-bedroom fantasies breathe, you show her you're comfortable with the kind of closeness she's already picturing with you. 12. She lets silence sit right after saying something suggestive. You're sitting side by side on a train, shoulders almost touching, scrolling your phones. Out of nowhere, she says, you'd be trouble if we ever went out. Or, I bet you're different behind closed doors. Then she goes quiet. She doesn't explain or laugh. She just lets the words hang there. Most men panic and fill the silence with nervous jokes. You now let a second pass. You feel the silence instead of fleeing it. Then you look at her and say, you have no idea. Or, is that you fishing for classified information? With a steady smile. That silence is her way of asking if you can handle the heat. And you're not the guy who runs anymore. 13. She pretends to need instructions for things she already knows. You're at the gym and she wanders over, holding equipment she's used before. Can you show me how to adjust this? Or you're at work and she asks how to use a feature in an app she's been on for months. Most men believe she's clueless. She isn't. She's borrowing your expertise as an excuse to be close and to let you lead for a second. You, now, step in without making her feel stupid. You move closer, show her slowly, maybe say, you already knew that, didn't you? With a grin. If she laughs and still stays there, it's not about the instructions. It's about checking that you're the man who's comfortable when she hands you that role. 14. She matches your rhythm, then suddenly slows everything down. You're walking with her through a weekend market, weaving through people. At first, she matches your pace and energy. Then, right when things feel easy, she slows down. Her steps get smaller, her voice softens. She lingers at stalls she doesn't care about. Most men just speed up, talking over their shoulder, missing the shift. Remember how she stretched time out at the goodbye earlier? This is the same move mid-journey. You now match her new rhythm. You slow your walk, lower your voice, and say, you good? While holding eye contact. When you feel that tempo change and ride it with her, she realizes you don't just see her, you sense her. 15. She uses, I shouldn't tell you this stories to test your heat. You're on a quiet side street, parked outside her place, engine off, windows fogging slightly. The conversation drifts and she says, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but... And suddenly you're hearing about a wild night, a secret crush she had, or a moment she did something impulsive. Most men treat this as random oversharing, or worse, they judge it and go cold. But she's not just confessing, she's checking your temperature. Inside, she's thinking, if I show him the parts of me that are messy or intense, does he flinch or can he hold it? You now listen without pulling your energy away. You lean back a little, keep your tone steady, and say something like, I like that you trust me with that, or with a playful edge, so you're more dangerous than you look. If you react with shock or moral lectures, she'll shut that doorway forever. If you meet it with grounded curiosity, she feels safe letting desire show up in the present, not just in past stories. That's when you stop being just a good listener and become the man she actually wants in those stories. 16. She starts mirroring your touch, but on objects, not you. You're sitting across from her at a small table, maybe in a cafe or at a bar. You rest your fingers on your glass. A moment later, she traces the rim of hers in the same rhythm. You tap the table absent-mindedly. She starts running her thumb along the edge of her phone in that same slow pattern. Most men never notice this. They're staring at her face, missing how her body is rehearsing touching you on safer objects. If you do notice, you might think, that's just a habit. It's usually not. From the inside, it sounds like, I want to touch you, but I need to know you won't make it weird. What happens next determines everything. You, now, mirror her back once. You might match her pace on your own glass, then let your hand drift slightly closer to hers on the table without forcing contact. Maybe you say, You copy my every move, you know that? With a soft smile. If she pulls away, you ease off. If she stays, you've just passed a huge test. You can feel the signal, respond to it, and still keep her reputation and comfort intact. 17. She drops her guard physically, but not verbally. You're in your living room, movie half forgotten, and she's basically melted into your space. Feet tucked under her on your couch, head resting on a cushion that's closer to your lap than her own side. Shoes off, body loose. Physically, her guard is down. But every time the conversation edges toward what this is, she dodges. We're just hanging out. Don't get ideas, said with a smile that doesn't match the way she's leaning into you. Most men take those words literally and freeze. From her side, it sounds like, I want this, but I need you to show me you can read more than slogans. You now don't argue with her words or demand clarity. You respond to her behavior. You might say quietly, for just hanging out, you're very comfortable here, while brushing a loose strand of hair away from her face and watching how she responds. If she stays close, if her eyes soften instead of shutting down, that's your signal that the unspoken ask is for you to take gentle, confident initiative, not a pounce, a clear invitation that tells her you're the kind of man she can relax around. 18. She brings the conversation back to nights, beds, and being tired. It's late. You've both said I should sleep at least twice, but the chat keeps going. The room around you is dark, phone lighting your face, and she suddenly steers the conversation back to nights, beds, and being tired. I can never sleep after days like this. My bed feels too big tonight. I'm way too wired to be in bed alone right now. Most men think she's just complaining about insomnia. They send a yawning emoji and talk about melatonin. From the inside, it's very different. She's mentally putting you in that room with her without ever saying, I want you here. She's picturing you leaning on the doorframe, or lying next to her, or still talking in the dark. And she's watching how boldly you'll step into that picture. The guy who's still guessing either gets explicit too fast or stays clueless. You now walk that middle line. You might reply, dangerous thing to say to me when I'm also not sleeping. Or, so we're both awake, both in bed, interesting, with a relaxed tone. You're not inviting yourself over or turning graphic. You're acknowledging the charge she just created. Then you can gently coach the moment in a direction that feels safe and exciting. Okay, one rule. We both say the most honest thing we're thinking before we sleep. Or, tell me the last time you actually liked sharing your bed. If she plays along instead of shutting it down, she's telling you her desire isn't hypothetical anymore. It's anchored to you, tonight. And how you handle this kind of playful, nighttime honesty sets you up for the most vulnerable part of all, seeing if you'll keep her safe when her reputation's on the line. 19. She checks whether you'll protect her reputation while flirting. You're out with mutual friends, maybe at a birthday dinner or a small house gathering. The jokes are flying and she throws you a line that only the two of you will fully get. Careful, he's different when it's just us. Or, don't let him near the aux, he gets intense, paired with a look that holds more history than the words admit. Most men either blast it wide open with a crude joke, or shut it down so hard she feels embarrassed for ever going there. Here's what's actually happening. She's checking whether you'll protect her reputation while still acknowledging what's real between you. As a woman, showing desire isn't just about what she feels. It's about what people might think. Inside, she's thinking, can I trust him to hold this tension without making me look cheap or desperate? Remember that guy in the kitchen from the beginning, who didn't notice her rearranging the space just to be closer? This is the same blind spot in public form. You now thread the needle. You smile, meet her eyes for a second longer than normal, and answer with something that keeps things suggestive but classy. You're exposing our secrets. Or, they have no idea what you're talking about, said with warmth, not shame. You're signaling, I feel it too, and I've got you. If instead you make her the punchline, you teach her that turning you on in public costs her safety. When you show you can keep the heat contained between you, you unlock the last thing she's been holding back, the part where she leaves you alone with a thought you can't shake. 20. She leaves you with a thought you can't stop replaying. You're standing in a doorway, about to part ways, or you've just finished a long text thread and said goodnight. It should be over. Then she drops one line that lands heavier than the rest. I'm going to be thinking about tonight in bed. Or, you have no idea what you do to me, followed by a smile or okay goodnight and disappearance. Most men either ignore it or reply with something clumsy and explicit that kills the magic. From her side, this last line is the point. She wants to leave you with a thought that isn't finished. Inside, she's hoping, please let him catch this and still see me as someone he respects. You now, don't panic text or act so cool you pretend it meant nothing. You reply with something that mirrors the wait without trapping her. You're not the only one, or sleep is not happening after that. Or in person you pause, lean in and say, good. Think about it before you walk away. That's when everything from the kitchen and the late-night messages converges. You're no longer wondering if you imagined it. You're the man who can see desire, hold it, and meet it. Now that you know how to spot those signs, what's next for you? Discover what women do when they secretly love you, or learn what she asks when she wants sexual intimacy from you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.